7:12. I didn't know where you were. I told you, but you're not around. I didn't know where you were. I had no idea. I want to talk about Will Smith. Details coming out yesterday that might not be the most favorable details in the world about Will Smith. What did we learn yesterday?
So they say that a loaded handgun was found in Smith's car. Loaded handgun was found in Smith's car, but the question remains. So, what was the story behind the loaded handgun?
It changes your mind?
Well, there's a couple of different scenarios that are playing out in my head. I guess my thought is, and I don't have an opinion on this, and again, the facts are still coming out. Louisiana has a stand your ground. They do their stand your ground state.
Yeah.
They're also, before that, they have what they call castle laws. You do not need to, if you feel threatened, you feel your life is in danger, and I think we all know this, I'm just summarizing.
Well, this is kind of what happened in Florida.
You do not need to retreat. So the lawyer's talking about that his client, this Hayes kid, was not the aggressor, and that people there at the scene feared for their life. There's also another video that came out where somebody's saying, I have a gun, and then someone else says, well, I have a gun too. Or that was a witness account.
That's been out, and they don't. It's basically just a witness saying what he or she said they saw.
Right.
And they're saying that. But now they found a gun. So they found a gun in Will Smith's vehicle. So according to that witness, whoever, and it looks like it was Will Smith, said, I have a gun. Don't mess with me. I have a gun. And then the other guy said, well, I have a gun too. And then he started shooting. He went back and got his gun and started shooting. So for me, it doesn't. I don't know, because they both could have been in the same scenario where they're on the stand your ground. I don't understand stand your ground, because they both could say they were feeling threatened, right? So if both of them are standing their ground, you got a duel.
I do think there's the scenario that I was thinking where, and this is in regards to like whether they find if he's ever tried and if he's found guilty or not guilty. If they're going to make the argument, this guy rear-ended me, right, and then he drives off.
Yeah.
I call 911 and I follow him.
Which, by the way, there's security video that shows that it looks like Will Smith's vehicle rear-ended him and then took off, and then there's video shows the guy chasing Will Smith's vehicle.
So he says, I called 911.
Yeah.
I followed him. I end up rear-ending him. We both get out of the car. He threatens me with a gun. He says, I have a gun.
So I shot him.
Right, and then he goes back to his car.
I mean, that's
right,
his defense.
That's his defense.
I don't buy that defense. How do you shoot somebody in the back and that's a defense?
Well, bear with me for 1 second. I hope I'm wrong. I'm just saying, if I'm the defense attorney, this is what I'm trying to paint.
That's exactly what he's trying to paint. Yeah.
He said, if he's claiming, Will Smith says, I have a gun, maybe in my car, right? So then he's going to say, Will went back to his car to get the gun. So the fact that he was shot in the back or the side, if I'm the defense lawyer, I'm going to say he was in his car reaching for his gun. I'm thinking he's going to get his gun and shoot me. I really hope that's not what happened. I hope it doesn't play out that way. But I mean, now we learn these new things, and I think it paints a different picture than what we originally thought.
Well, I think the other problem is that you have to be careful. When somebody dies, we tend to create a non-human picture. So we like to, it's like childbirth. You forget about the pain. So is that true, Christine? That's what they tell me. I don't know.
What pain?
I forgot
what pain
about all
are you
the
talking
pain.
about? No pain.
I forgot all the pain. What pain? So, but I think that what happens is we try to immortalize these people, and we speak about them like they were angels, like they could do no wrong and they've never done anything wrong. Well, Will Smith was human, and he made mistakes, and they're documented. Things have happened. Not everything was as perfect as it was when he was a kid, and maybe it never was, right? But I think we put him up on a pedestal to the point where there's some sort of a god. And then when stuff starts coming out that they're not really, they've done some things in their past, we're all shocked. Like, how could this be? I've lost this image that I had of Will Smith. Well, he's human. You know, there was a domestic issue, I think, at one point. That was documented. I mean, these things go on in the lives, and you're a professional athlete. Somebody said texted just a second ago that said, listen, if he's a professional athlete, he's probably carrying a weapon. Not really a big surprise there. But at the end of the day, don't you think we put these guys up and we try to create this vision of them, especially after they've died, that's godlike, like they're angels.
Yeah, and I think we do that with a loved one. We do that with loved ones.
We all do it.
And you know what? And just to be clear, we don't know exactly what happened. These different details.
I hate the. By the way, God had a plan. I hate hearing that because I'm not of the belief that God's like, all right, well, listen, we're going to take this person, I have a plan for this death. I don't believe that. I think it happens. I don't think God intercepts, and I just don't believe. I hate when people say that, but they do it to make you feel better, right?
Yeah, like I'm going to take this kid from the inner city who's raised by his grandmother. He's an incredibly gifted athlete. We're going to get him all the way to the NFL, and then I'm going to end his life in a shooting on the streets of New Orleans. I don't think that was what God. That
seem
was
to
the
be
story
the plan
that he wrote.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I guess it will change people's minds. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that they're all human. These are just human. These are people, and stuff. Probably additional things are going to come out of this story that probably aren't going to make you feel all that comfortable. 718, here's Christine with an update.